Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1296. It's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth. Today, Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. I hope you enjoy how I'm setting the tone today. I'm setting the tone. I'm very serious with my tone. Because my name is Tone Loke.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And y'all, that's some funky Cole Medina wild thing.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I remember back when I went to college at UCSB, and it was in the late 80s, and I had to work at a radio station. It was called Y97, and it rocked the nation! Actually, it only rocked Santa Barbara. But
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I met a young Edie Lambert there. Edie Lambert, who's this humongous, popular
Mike's
news anchor
Daily
in the
Podcast.
Central Valley, California.
Yeah!
She's been around for quite a while doing the news. I had a crush on her. But I often get crushes on news anchors, like the Garcia Michaela. She's very pretty. But you know what? I used to commute to UCSB in college, and I somehow found out about a deal. Yeah, the first 2 years at UCSB, I drove from Oxnard up to to Santa Barbara, which is actually, UCSB is in Goleta, which is north of Santa Barbara, so the drive would take an hour along the most beautiful stretch of highway, as Ronald Reagan once said, Highway 1. I was driving up Highway 1 with Nancy, and it was a drive that was very beautiful, but also lots of traffic. But I would always stop at this pizza place because they had a deal. I think it was Pizza Hut, and they had this deal where they gave you this big 2-liter cooler. It was a big cooler that you could refill once you bought the cooler, and I think a pizza. You could refill the cooler for like free. Anytime you walked in with the cooler, they'd be like, hey, go ahead, it's cool. Fill that cooler. And you'd be, shoot, that's an awful lot of Coke. And I'd fill it up with Coke every time, Coca-Cola. And I just gave Coca-Cola a plug, even though I never touch the stuff now. Okay, maybe the diet stuff. But I was reminded of this story because yesterday I finished off this liter of Coke that I had in my fridge for a while because of some party I had way back. I have so many parties now. No, I don't. I'm done throwing parties at my house. I'm done. Somebody walked in. Look who walked in. Hi, Mark. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing? And to this Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you what. What? I wanted to tell you this.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh, wow. Disgruntled Fiddle Player, that's so true. Yeah. That was my Forrest Gump impression. And that's my wife's horse, Nearly. Yeah, Nearly. Look, someone else has walked in.
Hi, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, I have some delicious root beer. And dance a polka with me.
No, I don't do the polka thing.
Please.
All right, enough.
Sorry.
Anywho. Cafe Anywho.
Anyway.
Cafe Anyway. What I was saying was I would drink this entire 2-liter cooler of Coke every day. Every day, my friend. Driving, my mom bought a used Subaru. Not a Subaru Outback. It was one of the lame Subarus. And I used to drive in that Subaru an hour. Well, I got it to 3 days a week. But I thought about this, too, because I have a friend named Stormy Phoenix who sometimes listens to the show. Hey, Stormy. Hey, what's up, girl? I hope you're having a fine morning.
It's a very fine morning.
She she's interning at K-Fog. I'm so jealous. I used to love K-Fog, and then they had Matt Pinfield on there. It's Matt Pinfield today. I want to talk to you about my voice is about to give up. Oh, his voice gave out. Matt Pinfield. I should make fun. He has had his drug issues, and he's working through them. Congrats to him. But I'm not a fan of K-Fog just because Cumulus owns it, and they've made this just horrible station out of it. They fired all their wonderful old-time DJs that they had on for eons. Fired them all because they were paying them too much, I guess, and they got these bargain basement DJs to come in, and they then proceeded to the music. The music didn't change too much, but I'll listen to it once in a while. I used to be a huge fan of K-Fog, but my Stormy Phoenix friend works there, interns there, and she drives a lot. She drives from Patterson, which is south of Tracy quite a ways, and then goes that's a ways away. If you're not in the Bay Area, the Bay Area is right there on the California coast. Well, this is all way inland, and then she has to deal with all this traffic, and then she gets on BART. She's in her early 20s. That's how she's able to do it. It's because she's so young.
And here's today's podcast picture.
But that is a lot of driving and commuting, and she takes the BART into San Francisco and goes to San Francisco State. It's quite a commute. Anyway, the podcast picture is of me from UCSB. There I am with my hair, and I'm super rail thin because I'm on caffeine all the time. And I live and exist on Coca-Cola, which almost makes me like Scarface, because he existed on cocaine, right? But that's different. Kinda. Just a little bit. But no, the podcast picture is not of that. It is of the wonderful, I think this is Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs. Why Colorado Springs? Because I interviewed there for a job 10 years ago, around this time. And I was waiting in their airport to go back home to my then wife and tell her all about the wonderful 2 days I had there talking to their program director. I was going to work at a station called, what was it called? Peak FM, named after Pikes Peak. But it was kind of I guess an adult contemporary format, playing the hits of the 80s, 90s, that kind of thing. And nice program director, but the job offer I had for Alabama was more lucrative, would be more responsibility, and my then wife was more into that whole scenario, so I ended up doing that. But while I was waiting at the airport in Colorado Springs, I took this picture of Pikes Peak. Colorado Springs is a very interesting town, and while I was there, I was in the area that the Wiccas inhabit. It's some cool little, I always forget the name of it. It's up in the hills there. And I ran into someone I hadn't seen since the 7th grade. And it looked exactly the same. And I'm like, hey, Paul. And we, exchange each other's phone information. And I remember I tried calling him a couple times and he never responded back. So that sucked. But yeah, Colorado Springs, fun times. I work with a guy named Craig, and he told me this interesting story about when he first moved into his place. He made an appointment for the cable guy to come out, and he couldn't make it in time to meet up with the cable guy at his new house, and so the cable guy left a note saying, "I'm Jim Carrey, I'm crazy." Just because he did a cable guy movie. So and I would quote something from that movie, but I've only seen bits and pieces, and it doesn't leave that much of an effect on me. Matthew Broderick was in it. That's all I remember. And Earl ended up marrying Judd Apatow, and she appeared in all those movies like 40-Year-Old Virgin and This Is 40 and etc. But where was I? Oh, so what happened was Craig he missed the cable guy, but he turns on his TV and he's got cable. And then at the end of the month, he's waiting for the bill. He doesn't get a bill. He did the smart thing. He did not call the cable company to ask what was going on. he just let it ride, and he kept getting free cable for 5 years. And then finally the cable just turned off. But he never once got a bill. The cable company got bought and sold. You know, there's several different affiliates took over. One went away, another came in, etc. They kept him on the same plan. And he had the free plan. I want that plan. Oh, that was a wonderful story. Told me that yesterday over a cup of coffee in the break room. It was a good day yesterday, except for all the fit hitting the shan. You know, Basil was really affected by the cold weather, I have now decided. You know, I was telling you all about his issues he was having. He was having a tough time moving around. But now that it was an actual warm morning, I didn't even need a jacket this morning. And Basil was all hopping around and happy. I think the cold had something to do with it. He's 8 years old. He's a boxer. You decide. Is he really old at 8? Or is he just... Because I've met dogs... I met one just the other day that was 15. So maybe he's middle-aged. But maybe in your middle ages, you get a little bit of the rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. Anyway. Finally, I just wanted to tell you I now have periphery weirdo avoiding radar. It seems like I can now just walk into a place and I instantly know who the weirdo is. The one that's going to walk up to you and just say something weird or be weird in some way or stink or be some kind of sociable outcast, antisocial, you know what I'm saying. The type that's just going to be, okay, that was interesting. I instantly know without even seeing them. I kind of have the Force, where I just know where certain things are. I use the Force, Luke. And that's the only quote from Star Wars we will have today. Because I'm out of energy now. Oh. So just that one, drinking up the rest of that Coca-Cola, or it was a rip-off Coke product. Even though I've said Coke a bunch of times, it was just, it's not good for you, soda. Folks, they should tax the crap out of soda, because it's just the worst thing for you. I know, sometimes you're having a delicious... Oh, wait, I'm getting a call. Hello? Oh, thank you. All right, I will take care of that. Okay, bye. That was a call from Trump. He said that I'm not supposed to talk about a soda tax because that's un-American.
Because you'd be in jail.
If I tried to put a tax on soda. All right. Well,
we had to make the move, and we decided to make the move.
To put a tax on soda? Awesome. And that's about...
Should I sign it?
Yeah, sign the tax on soda. That's about it. All right, we got a bunch of stories to get to. Let's get to that now in the segment called The Wow That's Wild Files. Hey, I wanted to mention real quickly, too, that there's the website MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST-1296-Commute. It's got a plethora, if you will, of things, including past shows. You can help out the show through the Amazon link. Shop, connect, and enjoy. Look for that button that says that. Click on that, bookmark it, and then whenever you buy anything on Amazon, go through that first, and that helps us out. There's also, if you'd like to become a Mike's Daily Podcaster, you'll get a personalized MP3 for thee from all the Cafe Anyway characters. Look for that PayPal donate button to do that. And there's all the past podcast pictures, past interviews as well. Oh, and we forgot to do the Royal Tweet Decree.
The Royal Trump Tweet Decree.
Isn't that a good one? Speaking of our overlord, of our president,
I won.
The man who hates WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks! I love WikiLeaks!
He says, don't let the fake news tell you that there's big infighting in the Trump administration. We are getting along great and getting major things done. Then he said right after that, I feel, within the same day, I feel sure that my friend Rand Paul will come along with the new and great health care program because he knows Obamacare is a disaster, because Rand Paul does not like the new plan. He wants some changes. I listened to a speech of his where he was explaining it all, and I don't remember any of it, so let's just move on. He says, because it was a Day Without Women Day yesterday, International Women Day, I have tremendous respect for women and the many roles they serve that are vital to the fabric of our society and our economy. Oh, that's so nice. On International Women's Day, join me in honoring the critical role of women here in America and around the world. All right, we will. LinkedIn Workforce Report. January and February were the strongest consecutive months for hiring since August and September of 2015. Sure. You know what? Let's get to the Wow, That's Wild files. That's what we'll do.
The Wow, That's Wild files.
We're the better-looking horse outside the glue factory.
Republicans are rarely as exercised as when they are fighting with themselves, says the New York Times. And as the House debates how to best dismantle the Affordable Care Act, a familiar array of interest groups with deep pockets, incensed talk radio hosts, and online agitators is again assuming its posture of aggression toward the House Republican leadership. Paul Ryan. Swamp Care. The writer and radio personality Eric Erickson. Wasn't he a Norwegian explorer? Scoffed at the new American Health Care Act. That's what they're calling it, the ACA. ACA. Instead of the ACA, it's ACA. We went from the ACA to ACA. The culmination of 7 years of promises to repeal and replace President Barack Obama's signature domestic achievement. Breitbart.com, yes, Breitbart, the Stephen Bannon thing, the alt-right, the white supremacist people thing. What did Nancy Pelosi say about it again? Oh, I got rid of that. She said that he's a white supremacist. But, okay. Rhino Care, Mark Levin, the one that broke the story or made up the story about Obama wiretapping Trump Tower. That's what he called it on Twitter. Political groups backed by the billionaire brothers, the Koch brothers, and Club for Growth, Heritage Action for America, they came out quickly and strongly against the bill. Some have threatened to punish lawmakers by docking their conservative ratings on the influential scorecards they distribute to voters. Activists are already swarming Capitol Hill and demanding that Congress take a harder line and pass a repeal measure that would leave no trace of Obamacare at all. Like what you want, right, Disgruntled Fiddle Player?
Yeah, just take that thing right out. Just remove it like a cater.
All right. So that's what now Trump actually wanting to keep things. The pre-existing conditions, as we mentioned, that's the lasting legacy of Obama. President Obama is pre-existing conditions, and that you can stay on the plan, on your parents' plan, up till 26. So, but conservatives appear willing to reopen the wounds of old leadership fights. Some of them have already taken to mocking the repeal plan with their what they consider to be the most damning of pejoratives. Not Trump care, as Democrats call it, but Ryan care. A new poll, meanwhile, the pick for Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Some bad news from him. Vox.com, which I used to have my podcast on Vox.com before Vox.com changed completely and was not a podcasting website. Well, it was a blog. It used to be you could make your own blog on Vox. So I had a thing called MikeTalks.vox.com. Now that Mike Talks is like my Twitter handle, at Mike Talks, and I'm also on Facebook, at Mike Talks, because that's what I do. But that was inspired by Vox. But now Vox is on to becoming a news site. It's been that way for a couple of years. And they say some bad news for Jeff Sessions. A slight majority of Americans think he lied in his confirmation hearing. A new poll from Quinnipiac University shows that a majority of voters think Sessions lied under oath. And then finally, Ivanka. The lovely Ivanka Trump in her huge, wonderful silver made out of tinfoil dress in homage to her dad, who likes to wear a little tinfoil hat, is representing tinfoil. No, it's aluminum foil. We don't have the tinfoil anymore. Is renting a Washington, D.C. home from a Chilean billionaire whose company is locked in a legal struggle with the U.S. government. This guy controls, I can't say his name because it's missing vowels, controls the company that owns the residence Trump and her husband Jared Kushner share in D.C.'s Kalorama neighborhood, the Wall Street Journal said yesterday. This according to The Hill. The company purchased the house as an investment, adding that its rental to Trump and Kushner is coincidental. The couple pays absolute market value in rent. But this guy has legal disputes with the U.S. government. Trump and Kushner were paying fair market value. They're not. Okay, so they're paying the fair market value, I guess is what this article is saying. And that Luksic, there we go. Luksic's family, for some reason earlier in the article, it did not have vowels. Thank you, The Hill. What the hell? They're among the wealthiest family, the Luksic family in Chile, controlling banking, mining, and industrial empire worth an estimated $13.1 billion. The U.S. unit of the family's mining company is fighting the U.S. government and environmental groups over a proposed mine in Minnesota. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Next show is going to be a shorter one. We're kind of making up for the last show, which was a short one. But next show, we will have the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Go out and enjoy your day, filled with weirdos, filled with warmer weather, filled with liters of your favorite soda. No, don't drink the soda. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. And that's always the message of the show. Thank you.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!